What's up, guys? Still never took the slicks. Never even got the numbers off the car. Everything's still as it is when we left Testing Tune last Sunday. Today's what? Thursday, going on Friday. Figured I'd show you guys a few things here. Right. This was the first pass out, and we were late getting there. So when we were late getting there, see 67 as I just showed you on. So this was, only got 3 runs in. It was pretty packed that day. It was really hot, guys. The DA was 2,480, which that's like racing on top of a mountain. Real, dense area, hot, humid day. So it was hard to run good times. I ran the whole way to the track about 100 mile an hour the whole way there. And we ended up doing our best 60 foot so far without two-step launch, launch control. I'm not going for reactions, but the 660, was it at an 8-second. Mile an hour at 89 there. 1,000 foot, we were at 10.3. Quarter mile, 12.3, 117. Not bad for driving 40 miles there and literally putting it right down the track. Literally right after I changed my tires, I teched in, we got called in, and I was like the 3rd person there. So the car never even got a chance to cool down. We went 117, and that was it. 117. And 251, we finally got to make her next time. 67. I did cut a better light, but we went from just to show you that little comparison. A little bit better 60 foot, better 330. Better 1,000 foot. Oh, actually we had a little, better 1,000 foot. We ended up doing our best so far to date with the car is a 12.19. So almost a 12.0 flat right there, guys. Or 12.1 flat. So it's almost a 12.2 basically. So that right there was our best pass so far. And then we did this one at 4:10, which was the hottest time of the day. This was the hottest. And if I'm 100%, if we would have had cool weather like it's supposed to be this Saturday, we should be able to run, especially with the 1.8. I think we'll run 11.9 at hopefully like 121 mile an hour. You can see the mile an hour is a little higher in here, but the 60 foot is not as good as here, but it's not too big of a difference on the 60 foot. But I don't know. Figured I'd show you guys the actual ones. If we can do 1.8 and mile an hour, hopefully 121 mile an hour, that's what I'm hoping. If we can do that, hopefully we can run a pretty good time. That's what I'm hoping to do anyway, is run a decent time there. I honestly believe this car is easily a 11.6. Might have to work with it, tweaking it a little bit on suspension. But I honestly think it's 11.6 car with launch control, if not way better than 11.6. The mile an hour is better than 11.6, but it is front wheel drive. But I think what we will do is raise the suspension up on this. I noticed in the picture from the track, the suspension was kind of down in the back a little bit on takeoff. I think we'll raise it up just a little bit and we'll tighten the suspension up a little bit. Each time I kept tightening the suspension up, the 60 foot was getting better and better. So I thought about maybe just letting it and just crank these bastards the whole way up and not move the suspension up. And then, I don't know, maybe just a 1/4 inch on each side. Maybe it'll end up messing it up. I don't know. But we'll definitely harden it. Not sure. I think we still probably got 12 more adjustment on the back, maybe more than that. I can't remember what I've been running on the back of this. I probably should count it tomorrow, then go from there if I want to raise it. I should try to raise it a little bit so it has a little bit more of a tilt, so the car sets most of its weight towards the front, tries to transfer it. Don't transfer it towards the back. And kind of keep it, you know, the suspension up like this, just not like, it's kind of like sitting like this right now. We just get it a little bit like this, and then when we take off, keep it there. And right now, when I left the track, you could really tell it was really planting the ass end on the ground, because, you know, when your ass end squats a little too much, it gives you that dramatic, like, suck you back in the seat, like, and you know it's a little dramatic. You know, that's when their suspension's setting you back. You know, your car will still glue you to the seat from the power, but you know, you get that little bit more dramatic. And when you know it's stiffer, it don't, you know, it feels more stable, so to speak. It don't want to pull you back, and the front end don't want to pull and sway around, because your ass end's dancing and front end's, you know, twisting back and forth trying to fight its way down the road. And we need an alignment. If we had the damn alignment, I think we could hit 11s like right away, even without the launch control. It really needs the alignment. I think that's killing a mile an hour, maybe 2 mile an hour on it. Hopefully we'll go and run a 1.8 60 foot and run like 120 mile an hour, 121 mile an hour, and at least run 11.9. My goal is better than the last time, which was 12.1. So as long as I run a 12.1 or better, I'm fine with it. Especially since it was a 12.1.9. So, you know, it was higher up, 12.1. We can cut that even down, you know. I'm cool with that. As long as we're moving forwards, guys, then I know that I'm adjusting suspension and doing everything correct. Then I know we're doing something for the car. What the hell was that? That was weird, guys. I don't know if you guys heard that on the camera or not, but that was fucking weird. Alright. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh yeah. As long as I think if we adjust the suspension a little bit better, that'll help us with the 60 foot, and which is going to allow us to run a hell of a lot better time at the track. And if we can run better time, any better time, even if it's the slightest little bit, that's improvement. And so far the car hasn't disappointed. Each time it goes to the track, it gets faster and faster and stays consistent. You know, it went 12.3, then 12.1, then 12.2, but it was a low 12.2, right? Let's see what it... So it's pretty consistent here. So what I liked about it, even though this was a 12.3 at 117, it's not bad for driving that far. That was a 12.3, basically almost flat. Then almost basically the 12.1 kind of high, and then it ran a 12.2 basically flat. 12.210, 12.192. So it was basically considered, it was really consistent on them two passes. And that's what we want, is consistent. And it was hot, guys. Really, really hot. So if we can get it, you know, this cool day, hopefully Sunday, we can get more than 3 damn slips in. Hopefully we can at least get 4 to 5. It'd be nice to get 5 passes in. If we get 5 passes in, that would be awesome. And hopefully we do good by adjusting the suspension and go from there. Kind of show you guys what I'm talking about before I let you go. Boy, the wind is blowing. Fall is definitely coming. The cool weather's coming. Alright, you guys see how far this actually is. That's the inner wheel. So, that's kind of high. I'm going to try to drop the front a little. Okay, and look how low the back end is to the front. So it's almost like the ass end squatting a little bit more already. So I'm going to jack that up. That's this side, and it could be the way it's sitting. We're going to jack the back end up some. See over here, kind of looks like it's squatting more. Boy, be racing though. Look at that prep everywhere. It's all prep. But as you see, let's get some gap over here. But I think we want to put it up a little bit, that gap. Close that gap up. Maybe drop the front end. But I don't think so. I think we'll let the front end alone. We need to get that geometry right on that anyway. Well, I said that all fucking wrong. The alignment up on it anyway. Figure out which way we got to get this all done this winter. That right there, we're gripping on every section of our tire. So we're going on the track. A lot of little things we can pick up. We might end up picking up too much next year. And I think we're allowed to go with 11.5. So if we go to 11.5, we're good. I think any more than 11.5, we got to have a cage. So there's a possibility, if we get it all figured out next year, that they won't let us run at the track. And that means we cage it. And we'll shoot for whatever, maybe what we can do from there. Because I'm thinking about, I'm going to put cams in it, see if we make maybe a little bit more horsepower or the same amount of horsepower on less boost. And, you know, go from there. But I think, I mean, we have it turned up. I haven't had it turned up at the track at 25 PSI, but I like to dyno it again. Maybe get it up to around 430, 425. That's pushing a damn stock motor, man. That's, I mean, we're already in parts of unknown places here with this motor for the last several years, from nitrous to turbocharger. And I like to go around 420 to 430. We get to around 420, 430. Right now we're right around 387. Should be a 387. It's 19 pounds is what it was dynoed at, and that's where I turn it back to when I go to the track. So that's 387, 346 torque. So if we turn it up about 35 more horsepower next year, dial in the suspension, get the alignment set up for the slicks right. I said the suspension, yeah, tune the suspension in. I'm hoping to be able to see, man, it'd be awesome to see a low 11 pass. I would be very happy if I get all that done next year and it runs 11.5. I would be very happy. But I'm thinking it's going to run past my expectations of 11.5 next year. And when you shit, I would shit. And I think a lot of other people would be like, how the fuck did he do that on a bone stock motor? But we take it up around 430, like I said. some better cams, maybe a little taller slick, throw the RPM out a little bit farther, dial in the suspension, get everything tuned in, alignment done right with the slicks, I think we could possibly pick up to 127 mile an hour and run it real deep into 11s. But next year's goal is 11.5. This year's goal is 11.999. Basically, my goal for myself, I kept telling myself, was just if I could run a 12.1, I would be happy. And I ran the 12.1. So now I might as well go and try to run that 11.999 that I really was kind of looking for, but I was kind of thinking I wasn't going to get it without the launch control. And I think we have it in the bag. If I don't fuck up shifting and we have the temperatures right, I don't spin. It's a lot of, verities to go into it. If I had the launch control, I think it would be all day, every day, 11.6, 11.5 car without even tuning the suspension. That's why I deeply believe that it has a very low 11 in it. And before I build it, we'll try to turn it up to 450. If it holds at 450, we'll try to make some passes in it. Maybe we could possibly get it in the 10s. But as far as I know, I've been looking everywhere. Nobody's ever had one of these stock bottom end, stock motor, beta 1 engine run 11.9. Nowhere in the 11s. So hopefully let's go break community record, in my opinion. It's definitely a U.S. record. If you guys did it in Puerto Rico, I've never seen it. If you guys did it in Puerto Rico in RD2 or Tiburon and 11.99s, if you guys did, that's awesome on stock engine. But I've never seen it in the U.S. and I guarantee it'll be I don't think it's been done even in Korea in the 11s. They don't even have good enough drag strips to put one of these into 11s. I know it can run 11. You guys see that video of that 69 Mach with the 460 in it? 69, yeah, I think it's 69 Mach 2. Maybe it's a 70s. I think it's a 69 Mach 2 of my friend's dad's. My friend drives it a lot, and it's 11.2 car and 116 mile an hour 11.2, and I'm running basically 120 mile an hour. And you see if you guys watch the race, he gave me the hit, came out around me, and then right at the end, I was right on his bumper. He broke up, and I went around him. But even if I didn't go around him, even if he wouldn't have broke up, and I would have just stood on his bumper, and I was mile an hour in him, so I know I would have been right beside him by the end, because we still had another 300 feet to go, so I could have came even around him. Technically, I would have won because, car broke up, he had to let out, I went around him, but oh well. Wasn't a win to me, wasn't a win for me, because I wanted to go around him at the quarter mile, or before the quarter mile, I should say, which I did, but he broke up, and it's kind of disappointing. But he's 11.2 car all day, and auto car, naturally aspirated, very consistent, and I don't think that thing runs any slower than 11.5, 11.6 on the street. So, and I was right there with it. So, basically, I know my car's been 11 seconds on the street already. I know from just editing the videos, even 11 seconds. From the time the flashlight goes on to the time the brakes hit. So, alright guys, long-winded talk. Maybe some of you will enjoy it. Some of you might not. Peace out guys. Like and subscribe.